need to be able to see the battlefield better and longer than our enemy. We've got to be able to mass really powerful combat forces at the time and place of our choosing. We've got to be able to protect ourselves. We've got to be able to share data rapidly. These are all challenging things to do on the future battlefield, which is going to be complicated. So to do that, we are developing a whole range of new capabilities, and we're really transforming our Army organizations.
Of course, one of those capabilities, and I bring this up because certainly investors and Wall Street analysts have been focused on it, has been the Flora competition. Any update on when we might see a selection on that?
That, Morgan, is obviously going to be a big, important decision. So we're going to take our time with that to make sure that we get it right. I think it'll be a little bit more time.
Okay. And then in terms of other priorities, the role that some of these new technologies, things like software, are playing.
Software is really important in a lot of these new systems. One of the things that the Army has struggled with in the past is we got locked into one vendor's software system, basically. So now we're trying to design our systems to have open architectures so that we aren't wedded to just one vendor and we can, swap in and out new software more easily. But a lot of what's going to make our new systems more powerful is the software inside of the hardware.
When we look at Ukraine, and the last time you and I sat down together, Russia had just invaded Ukraine maybe a couple of weeks prior. What are the lessons learned so far? How is it affecting the way the Army is thinking about modern warfare and the purchases you might need to make?
I think a lot of what we've seen in Ukraine really validates the ideas that are in our new doctrine. In particular, we've got to, I think what we see in Ukraine emphasizes the need for combined arms warfare, not just using armor and tanks, but combining it with infantry, combining it with attack aviation. We've got to be able to do all of that at once. Another lesson, I think, from Ukraine is the real pronounced threat of drones and other kinds of aerial unmanned systems. So that's something we're really working on, is developing better counter-UAS capabilities. We've
seen certain missile lines, the production there begin to re-ramp. There were reports over the weekend from the Journal that the howitzer line from BAE is potentially poised to re-ramp as well. Do you expect to see more of that, given the fact that Ukraine has thrust some of these, I don't want to say traditional, but some of these well-used and long-standing weapons programs back into the spotlight?
I think Ukraine does show the importance of having deeper magazines and having more munitions. So we are working hard with industry to try to ramp up productions of a number of things, whether it's Gimlers, whether it's HIMARS. And, in terms of BAE, I would direct you to them to sort of see what their plans are.
Directed me to you.
But we are absolutely trying to work hard with industry to figure out how to both increase capacity and speed up production.
In terms of Ukraine, we've seen the commentary from Putin out of Russia in recent weeks. President Biden just recently saying that the risk is very real, probably the greatest we've seen for a nuclear conflict in 60 years since the Cuban Missile Crisis. Financial markets have largely shrugged that off so far. From your vantage point, how acute is that possibility?
I think we need to be very concerned about that. And I have no doubt that the president and his closest advisors are working hard to think through what are the possible situations that might arise and how the United States would respond to it. I think you see with the series of massive missile strikes that the Russians unleashed on Ukraine overnight, I think Putin is starting to feel a little bit backed into a corner. So that certainly means, I think, the possibility of escalation. But again, I am confident that we are thinking through what our options would be in that kind of a situation. And most importantly, messaging privately to the Russian government, to Putin, that it would be completely unacceptable to cross the nuclear threshold.